morning, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. This is the second time I have spoken out about the budget. The first time was a few days, actually after the budget had just been passed and a few days before before the governor signed it. And at that time I was urging the governor to do the right thing. There were a number of provisions in the budget that were so egregious and so far, I think, outside the mainstream of what voters in Ohio want that it was really incumbent upon him to do the right thing and line item veto some of those provisions. Now, he refused to do that. And now we're stuck with really not just one of the most extreme budgets in the history of Ohio, but also one of the most extreme budgets that's been passed by any legislative body in the country. If you just look at the score sheet, if you go through these various provisions, there's so many that are objectionable. We don't have time to get through all of them probably today. But just to summarize, first of all, it's bad for Ohio's children because we're still funding education now at a lower rate than we were under the previous administration. It's bad for seniors in particular, and for anybody on a fixed income, because the whole tax shift that has happened under this budget, it's increasing sales taxes. It will, in the long run, be increasing property taxes, and it's increasing or cutting income taxes where most of the benefits are going for folks at the higher end of the income scale. So it's particularly bad for a senior that's trying to maintain their own home and is on a fixed income. It's bad for middle-class families in general because it's a shift. It's rewarding those who have done very well, and it's sticking the middle class with the bill. All of that is pretty clear. And by the way, that's not just one person's point of view or one campaign's point of view. That has been said loudly and repeatedly all over the state. If you look at the reactions of Ohio's newspapers, almost unanimously, they have panned this budget. And we have some of the quotes from various news outlets all over the state. They've said things like that this is a budget that is rewarding those who have done very well while punishing those in the middle class. They've said things like it puts the needs of the well-off ahead of those who are the poorest and in the middle class. It's said that it's putting things in the budget at the last second that don't belong in a budget bill and have prevented any real discussion or debate about some of those divisive things. The Toledo Blade said that the new state budget is equally regressive as either economic policy or social policy, and that for folks who aren't rich, women, and anyone else who would rather move forward than backward, that they need to insist on a different route. Now, the budget is bad in so many different ways when it comes to tax policy, but I have to say that if you had to rank the most egregious portions of it, it would have to do, in my opinion, with the very extreme policies that are represented in this budget when it comes to women.